I kind of caught a little bit. You're talking about the popular system for the custom maps?
Yeah, do you plan to include the number of players in a map so that not every popular map has like 2 or 3 players? Like some maps have 8 players and they're really far down the charts because of that.
Sure, yeah, no, that's a really good piece of feedback. The custom screen, the joining the custom game screen, you know, it's still a work in progress. You know, it's something that from the moment we shipped until the recent patches, we've already made some adjustments to it. But, you know, that would be a great idea as far as being able to search based on the number of players, because you're looking for you and your friend to find a cool 2-player custom map on popular games that way.
So in World of Warcraft, you have spell power, which is a nice stat you get, boosts the powers of your abilities, etc., etc. Is it possible to remake something like this in StarCraft 2, a custom stat that affects your abilities and like boosts the power of them, and then further have in the tooltip it show you how much base damage that ability do, and then how much extra damage it's going to do based on your, you know, spell power or whatever you want to call it?
Blizzard Dota is already actually doing a lot of what you're talking about, and you can actually do a lot of that right now. You can define custom attributes, whatever you want, and then you can have those, your abilities, you can have your abilities tie into those attributes. So like if I have an int attribute, an intelligence attribute, and I want that to improve the damage of a spell, you can actually do that. And of course, we're always looking at improving those abilities as well.
I would actually look into using dialogues too, because you can update a mouse over tooltip on the fly. Because I think you're specifically saying that my fireball does 300 plus 200 damage, so it does 500 damage. Yeah, you can actually use dialogues to do that right now.
Hi, right now when you're trying to create an artistic asset, you basically have to have your own image editor, sound editor, and then import it back to the Galaxy editor. Is there any plan in the future where you guys going to integrate things like image editor, sound editor inside the Galaxy editor itself, instead of having us to use Photoshop or other sound editor?
Well, I think that I'm not sure if we're going to be able to like expose all of those different tools to you, but I know that we do have plans to release and expose our art tools sometime between now and the shipping of Legacy of the Void. I'm sorry. It is something that we are working on, though.
Yeah, I would like to add to that too, is that one of the things going through our process is we got a discussion now creating a UI editor. You know, this is something that wasn't even on a table about a month ago, but by us going through all this, we've now kind of set our energy to also adding another tool to the editor.
I had a question about the sort of lobby system, where I'd love to create something that requires you to be in specific slots, but I'm not that good with the triggers and such, and it seems really annoying to have that first come, first serve pick race once you enter the game. I mean, a lot of people don't really know about that, so I was just wondering, are you going to have some way of creating a system within the lobby to change your player slots? And sort of the next question would be, do you, specifically for something like StarCraft 2 debates, where there's a lot of trolls, or for like StarCraft beta, Dota, there's also a lot of trolls in that. Is there a way that you can, or are you going to implement some sort of ban system where if you are in a Dota game and some guy is just feeding continuously and you just want to ban him personally, do you think that there's a way that you could do that from the whole game as an editor?
I definitely want to address the question about the lobby slots in Battle.net. This is an issue that in all of our custom mods, Blizzard Dota in particular, we came face to face with ourselves. And it's definitely something that we want to improve in the future. For the question about banning, we have no plans to do that at this time.
Hey, how's it going? First, I have an idea and then a question. The way maps are ranked right now is by plays. It's basically if there's 500 plays an hour, you know, it'll be ranked up pretty high. But games that take a long time to play. One of my friends has a game that takes about an hour to get through sometimes, and he can't have a lot of plays per hour because it takes so long to get through. You know, there needs to be a lot more players playing his map for it to be bumped up as high as like Nexus Wars, which only takes a couple minutes to play. So I just wanted to give that idea for maybe a future way to rank maps, do it by time instead of by number of plays, like how long the map has been played, the grand total of all players combined. I don't know. You guys probably have a better idea already in the works, but just a thought. Also, my question is, are you able to give any details right now on how maps might in the future be chosen to be a premium map, or is that so much in the works that everything's up in the air?
It's so still in the works right now that we're not quite sure how we're going to approach the premium maps versus the free content.
Hi there. Can you inform me on any information as towards single-player custom campaigns?
I'm sorry, but the single-player custom campaign?
Correct. Like people creating them.
Or who created all the campaign missions?
No, like us creating them for fans.
So the question is, when will you be able to create your own single-player custom campaign?
Yeah.
Well, this was certainly something that you could do in Warcraft 3, and it's definitely something we'd like to implement in the future.
Hi. I was wondering if you're going to be releasing any updates to the Galaxy editor. I know a lot of my friends use it all the time, and a lot of them complain about how it can be a little bit laggy or buggy at times, especially with Vespene geysers and SCVs moving around it in messed up ways.
Yeah, I mean, in future updates to the editor, we're constantly looking at both performance and usability.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody.
That's you and Tall, right?
Any last words, you guys? Anything else to close with?
No, I'm just really excited that you guys all came here to listen to our maps or talk about our maps. And I'd hate to plug this, but I hope you guys get a chance to go over there and play some of these mods because these guys spend a lot of time, and we're really looking to hear what you guys have to say about them. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back here live at Blizzcon 2010. That wraps up the Starcraft 2 panel, all about the brand new mods, including Left to Die and other exciting things. As we look here at BlizzCon, there's a Diablo 3 area where folks are getting their first ever chance to play the Demon Hunter class, which is the final class that was announced for Diablo 3 this morning. I'm Jeff Keighley here live at our BlizzCon stage in HD on DirecTV with Cat Hunter. And joining us now is a man who we see every year here at BlizzCon, Paul Sams. Paul, it's great to have you back.
Great to be back.
Well, BlizzCon is off to an amazing start today. Lots of excitement around all the announcements and everything like that. Does this BlizzCon feel any different to you than the other ones you guys have done over the past?
It feels a lot bigger to me, to be honest. When you walk around the halls this year, you're bumping into a lot more people. And I think it feels like everybody that decided that they wanted to come decided to come the first day so they could experience the opening ceremony and everything else and maybe make it a weekend. So I think a lot of times people, were working on Fridays and they said, oh, we'll just get Saturday in. But this year it feels like they're in full force.
Now, how do you decide when you're going to do a BlizzCon? Last year you did it, I think it was in summertime. Now it's October. This has been a really busy year for you guys with Starcraft coming out in the summer, Cataclysm in December, BlizzCon now. Do you do a BlizzCon every year no matter what now, or how do you decide on the timing?
Well, it's a number of factors, to be honest with you. We try to position it appropriately so it's not overlapping with our product releases or any other major patches or content updates or other big events for us. But to be honest with you, we don't have total control. It's partly connected to the fact that these big trade show venues, they have certain spots that are open, and that's all you got. And so we've booked, far in advance and held held different spots for coming years at a couple of different venues just so we give ourselves options. But we really love Anaheim. We feel like the 4 halls, one after the other, allows it to really flow well. And we really like being here. But, you know, some of it's in our hands, some of it's not. Thankfully, it worked perfectly this year. We're right smack in the middle of Starcraft 2 and Cataclysm, so definitely good.
Now, like Jeff was saying, it's a big year for Blizzard. You just recently put out the 12 million player for World of Warcraft announcement. Now, it's been a long time since you had the last announcement, which I believe was 11.5. I think most people were expecting that number to go down. It did go up, but there was a long gap between it. What do you attribute the rise from 11.5 to 12 million recently?
Well, I'll tell you, I kind of look at it like an engine, right? You've got an engine, you've got all these pistons pumping, and one of the pistons wasn't pumping, and that was we didn't have the most, we didn't have the Wrath of the Lich King content in China, and as a result, we weren't able to see the growth in that market that we had seen in the other markets, and so that's why there was a gap. Once Wrath of the Lich King launched in August of this year, we started seeing the subscribership there materially increase, and so I think that's contributory to it. And then hopefully, I think the different content updates that we've been doing and the different things that are going to come out with Cataclysm, I think that also drives a lot of win back, and it also causes a lot of the players to be logging back in and really going after it. So we're really excited about the future for World of Warcraft. We think that there's a lot of legs on that thing, and we think Cataclysm is really going to drive things for us. It's an incredible expansion set, and I think people are going to be really excited about it.
How far out do you plan, the business of World of Warcraft? Because it's obviously, it's the biggest thing in gaming right now, and fans love it. But I mean, with 12 million subscribers, it's obviously, the biggest thing that Blizzard has. Is there, a 3-5 year plan for what you want to do with World of Warcraft? How far out do you think about it?
Well, content drives everything for us. I mean, I look at it as focusing on the game, and the business trails that. Right. So we don't build business plans, so to speak, that say, hey, we want to hit this number of subscribers and we want to hit this type of revenue or anything like that. That's not what it's about for us. The focus is what is the next content that we want to deliver. So if you said to the development teams, do you know what you're going to deliver in the next expansion set? Well, I would say that they have a pretty darn good idea. They know what type of things they're wanting to address and the types of experiences that they're wanting to deliver. And they know that a number of years in advance because they really are trying to evolve this franchise and this universe in an intelligent way. And so they sketch out what that future looks like, and then they kind of focus in on the specifics as they release the most recent content. And they say, okay, let's get to that next thing that we want to really hit, that exciting, advancement of the story, or this advancement of a character or a group of people. And they really geeked up on that, and that's what really drives it. And then, my team on the operations and business side kind of follow behind that, and we try to make sure that we wrap the right business model and business decisions around the game, because that's really the driver. The people aren't here because they're excited that we have the coolest business models. That's not what it's about. It's all about the games, and so we can't allow the business to drive the games. The games drive the business.
Way to do it.
The press release that you just that we were just talking about actually mentioned Southeast Asia and Latin America as different areas that you're putting attention into expanding into. Can you bring us up to date on what's happening with regional expansions?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Southeast Asia, when we launched Starcraft 2, we made a much stronger and, I guess, more focused effort on trying to evolve that market. There's a lot of players that have been playing there for a long time. They didn't have local servers. They were connecting to the US or maybe to Korea. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to deliver a better gaming experience for them, one that's more focused and a lot more attention against them, more appropriate marketing and community and other types of things in those markets so that they feel as if they're getting the attention that they deserve. Those people are as important to us as anywhere else, and the market is growing in such a way to where we felt like we could really enter into it appropriately. And the same thing goes for Latin America. We have a lot of players that have been playing our games in Latin America for many years, and I think our efforts now is we're really trying to put community in and trying to build those markets and those and support those very passionate gamers there. They're very passionate. There's just I guess the market hasn't been quite big enough for us to be able to put the type of headcount against it, but now we are, and it's really paying off. We're really seeing a lot of people coming over. They feel like we're putting the attention against them, that we're prioritizing them, and we're doing the things necessary to ensure that they get to play. And so, when you look at the various markets we go in, one of the things that I think that really helped us to be successful is that we try to create these games with global appeal, but then we build the local experience in a way that feels like we're local. And so we make sure that when we bring those games out, that